Hey guys, welcome back to Beat Sweets Farm. Today I have all my supplies out ready to make some soy wax candles. So what you're going to need for this project is a pot, and then I use one of these metal pitchers that is designated just for my wax. So this is going to act like a double boiler. I'm going to put water in this pot, my wax goes in here, and then I just put this in here and let it boil until the wax inside is fully melted. And you're also going to want a spatula to mix in your fragrance oil. A separate spatula designated just for candle making. You don't want to use it to cook afterwards. And then you're going to need some type of wax. I use 100% soy wax from Virginia Candle Supply. I've had pretty good experience with this. You're going to need a scale and some type of crazy glue or this type of glue in order to glue your wicks to the jars. And I like to use canning jars for candles just because I know they're already heat proof. So here's my wicks that I use. They're already pre-waxed and pre-assembled. And then you're going to need your fragrance oil. I love this blueberry cobbler fragrance oil. So I ordered a 16-ounce bottle of it. So before anything, what you want to do is glue your wicks in the middle of the jar. And they have to be fully dried before you try to pour wax inside the candles. So you want to do this either the day ahead or a few hours before you want to start making your candles. Alright, now that those are all glued on and they're drying, the next thing you want to do is measure in your wax inside of this. You always want to weigh it because you're going to use 1 ounce of your fragrance oil for every pound of wax. So I don't remember how many pounds of wax fit in this, but I'm going to go ahead and weigh it. And then you're not going to add this yet. I'll show you when to add this. But the first step is going to be to melt the wax in your little double boiler. Okay, so it looks like 2 pounds fit inside of my little pitcher here. I can probably squeeze some more in, but I want to keep it even. So that's what it looks like in there, and that's gonna melt down and reduce a lot. So you just sit that into the simmering water. Doesn't really matter if it's a rolling boil or anything, but the heat from the water is gonna melt the wax until it is a clear fluid. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. And since this is a pretty large candle order, I have a lot of these large jars. They wanted 8 of these, and then 4 8-ounce and 2 of our miniature 4-ounce size. So I'm going to be doing these steps multiple times up until I have all these jars filled up. So I had about 2 pounds of the wax in here. So I added 2 ounces of the blueberry cobbler fragrance oil. So I just stir it a few times. I don't like to pour the wax inside the jars until this is a little bit cool. You don't want it too cool, but you don't want it like fresh out of the hot water. So what I do is just stir it and then let it sit on the counter. Maybe, see, I don't know, I don't usually time it. Maybe 10 minutes. Just let it sit here. You don't want it to start solidifying it, but you want it to cool down a little bit. So it's 12:50 right now. I'm gonna check back on it around 1 o'clock just to see, and then I'll let you know if that was accurate. But in the meantime, I will show you how to prepare the jars for pouring. I use these, I kind of made my own. I taped some straws together, or you can do it with skewers like this. And they sell some of this stuff online too. The purpose is to hold the wick right in the middle. So, for example, like this one is made with 2 straws and I taped it together kind of like chopsticks. So what you do is you slide the wick and position it so that it's in the middle like that. So when you pour the wax inside the jar, the wick is going to stay in the middle thanks to your straws. Or do something similar with the skewers like this. So you just pull it straight like that, and then it's right in the middle, and that's not going to move around once you pour the wax in. Alright, it's been 13 minutes. I'm stirring this again to make sure that the oil is well incorporated into the wax. But it is ready to be poured now. Let me just put the spatula down. Okay, so you simply just take it into your jar and pour it. I like to leave a little space on the top because sometimes the wax sort of caves in the middle, or it might dry with a crack. So if you save a little bit of your wax, and once these are fully dry, you can just pour a little bit more of the melted wax on top and fix any of those problems. But just leave a little gap, like you don't want to fill it all the way up to the top. Probably like right here is a good level, and that way you have some space to work with if you do have to fix any flaws or mistakes. But sometimes they dry perfectly fine on the first try, so it just depends. So I'm just doing these two so you can see, and I'm going to continue melting some more wax, adding the fragrance oil, and filling all of these until they're all done. But you're going to wait until these completely cool down, so it'll be pure white, almost like how it originally came in the flakes, like that. It'll turn pure white and solid, and then that's when you can take off the straws or the skewers or whatever you're using to hold the wick in place. You don't want to mess with it too much now. So you wait until it's solid, you can take those off, and then I'll show you how to cut the wick. Then you can just put them away or package them up or ship them, whatever you're doing with them. Just for reference, that 2 pounds of wax with the 2 ounces of fragrance oil made 2 of the 16-ounce jars, and it made 2 of the 4-ounce miniature jars. So these are all done and ready to go. As you can see, this is some of the little imperfections I was talking about, but this one's not too big, so I'm not gonna fix that. But you can put a little bit more of the melted wax on top of that to dry smoothly like that. But I have my little labels. I put the name of the candle, and then later in I'll write in the price and the net weight of the candle, and I put some of my information. So what I usually do is you put the lid on, and then I put the label on top and screw in the lid. And that's how the finished product looks. You can put a little bow on it or something. If it's just for you, you can skip this whole step, but I like to do this. That way customers can remember what's the fragrance of the candle, and they can have my website and farm page information. So that is the finished product, and I'm going to go ahead and finish these throughout the day. So now that you know how simple it is to make soy wax candles or any other type of wax candles, I hope you guys try it out and let me know if you have any questions. And thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.